All right, so let's take a look at question 4. This is likely something you've seen before in a math class or, in school in some other science class, and maybe you took physics before. We're looking for the amount of time it would take for somebody to drive it, and we're given the velocity here. Now, the variables can change slightly. Sometimes you have S for displacement or D for distance. Because it makes a little bit more sense here, we're going to use D for the distance. We have to assume that they're driving in a straight line because we don't have any, geometry information. And so, we'll change the formula just slightly from how you might have seen it on a formula sheet. But this is more common for just general use. So distance will equal to velocity times time. And we have to assume that either this is in a straight line or the average velocity compensates for any changes. Otherwise, we don't know what to do. And so when we look at this question, we may notice that we don't have quite the setup we're looking for. You see, it says find the amount of time. So in that case, that's t in our equation. So if I'm trying to solve for t, well, that's kind of buried in the middle of some stuff here. So let me try to plug stuff in, see how far I can take this before I have to go in and fix some things. So the distance, 368 miles, is given to us in the question. All right, then the equal sign is set by the equation here. Velocity 64.62, and then mph, common abbreviation for miles per hour. And so we'll stack it this way just so that we can see the units a little bit better. And then this gets multiplied by that t we're looking for. So don't know what that is, but because it's the only thing we don't know, then some simple algebra should help us go and solve for it. Okay, so if I want to get t by itself, I need to divide by this stuff here. It's the opposite of the multiplication we currently see, and that's going to clear it away and help things over here. The units are indicated as hours, and so if we look through, we can see, well, miles and miles will line up with each other, can technically be canceled. When we divide here, it's on the bottom of a fraction, and it does this weird kind of flip and multiply thing. And sure enough, we do get hours as an answer. So sometimes it helps if you can figure out the units first, and then you can break this down to be more like just an algebra question. And so now, it might be a little bit more clear from this point, what the step is going to be, even though we figured it out before. It just comes down basically to personal preference. So if we want to solve for t, now we divide by 64.62. And, a couple decimal places. We're not really looking at significant digits in this section. So more often than not, 2 decimal places is how these questions are set. And dividing that out, we'll get 5.69. And then from the question and checking the units, we can confirm that these really are hours.